don't wanna ruin the right thing. I know what viewing the light brings. With you and my sight queen, no pipe dreams. I'll think of you in the hype beams, brighter than Godzilla's lasers. I know every thought's of the razor, slicing through to the root of it all. Bright enough to meet the withdrawals. I want peace, I want loyalty. Past my peak when I creak, will you oil me? We can both demand guarantees if we both have transparency. Where can we go for happiness? I'm caught in your beam, you zap me, miss. It's like I'm stuck in Medusa's gaze, and all of my days are new today's. I'm just giving you a bird's eye view. Dictionaries don't have words like you. I'm so grateful you reverse my view. I put you in every verse I do. I'm just giving you a bird's eye view. Dictionaries don't have words like you. I'm so grateful you reverse my view. I put you in every verse I do. Sick of all the negativity. This is our own exclusivity. I never known this type of love before. It's like bringing peace doves to war. It's like our arms are laid down in your arms, and we both found our crowns and more harm. The world is ours. Can we be great? I'm so glad we both appreciate. The world's cold, I don't see warmness. Let's calm our minds and be formless. What's yours is mine, reciprocated. Ripper greatness, manipulated. Different stages, traversed expertly. I won't even let my worst ex hurt me. No more pain, no more controversy. Achieving peace from beyond a bird's free. And I'm just giving you a bird's eye view. Dictionaries don't have words like you. I'm so grateful you reverse my view. I put you in every verse I do. I'm just giving you a bird's eye view. Dictionaries don't have words like you. I'm so grateful you reverse my view. I put you in every verse I do. Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, bienvenidos al show Vida en Cero Gravedad, Life in Zero Gravity. You know the vibes by now. Tú sabes las vibras. Coming at you from the first radio station in space, 1111 on your ZM dial. And this is crazy to do this. To attempt 2 episodes in a week. I know some people do it, but they got like writers, they got a camera team, they got editors. I don't have any of that. I don't even have a guest. This is just all me doing this after working hella hours this week. So I'm bringing you this. I'm going to have another episode. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do that, but it's going to happen. Oh shit. Well, I'm already demonetized on YouTube. I keep thinking like, oh, you can't curse right away. You're gonna get demonetized on YouTube. Too late. I was one step ahead of the curve there. I got demonetized already. So a while back. What was it for? Oh, it was for using TikTok videos on YouTube. I didn't think that was illegal. Got demonetized for that because nobody wants you to promote other social media. They want to keep it like their own, Like, okay, come on now. I just think that's silly, personally. So I'm gonna jump into it. Bonus episode. We're gonna see how this goes. Started this episode on 11/11/2019. Unfortunately, the story by now. It didn't post till 11/12/2019. But for all intents and purposes, this is Life is Zero Gravity Day, 11/11. Special day, the day Chamber Zero was released. I got more stuff in the works. I wanted to release the album today. Obviously, that didn't happen. But it's just hard to find the time to... I'm going to get into that later. But it's hard to find the damn time to record, bro. So... that's not my fault. Well, I guess it is in a way, but it's not fully my fault. Anyway, so girls who don't drive don't realize how inconvenient it is. Seriously. Like, if you're a half hour away right? That's not that far. Girl lives a half hour away. Okay. So it'd be a half hour there, half hour back, right? But if they don't drive and you have to pick them up, that turns into a 2 hour trip. You see? Easily. 2 hour round trip. You gotta go there, back. And that's like, I was trying to hang out with this girl, and then I started doing the math. I'm like, okay, she she was saying she had to be back by 10. It's like 3 now, right? It was 30 minutes away one way. Coming back, there would have been traffic. Actually, it was 4, my bad, not 3. They do this math. Yeah, so it was like 4. Coming back, there would have been traffic. Most definitely. It could have took an hour, right? So now we got about a let's say hour and a half of travel time. Probably wouldn't be traffic coming back, but we're looking at like 2.5 hours of travel time. She has 6 hours to hang out total. 2.5 hours of that would be spent in the car. That didn't make sense. I did the math. I was like, I think we should just do this a different day. Cause I didn't realize, I thought she was closer than she was. And then I looked it up. I could tell she was annoyed. But I was just like, nah, man, like, I don't think that makes sense. Like, why would we hang out for basically 3.5 hours? Cause she wanted to eat too. So that was going to take time. That's another hour gone. It's like, there's not a lot of time to actually hang out in that. You got to be back by 10. So realistically, we got to probably leave at 9 to make sure you're back on time, right? If you got to be back by 10. So now we got a 5.5 hour window. 2.5 hours of it at least is going to be spent in the car. Then at least an hour to eat. So you're looking at 3.5 hours. So we got like maybe 2 hours to hang out. It didn't seem worth it. And part of it was honestly, I'm like, damn, man, I don't want to go out to eat. Like, I don't feel like that. It takes too much time. It's not really fun. Like, sometimes, but like, she wanted to go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or something, and it was like a weeknight, and I was not feeling it. I don't know. Maybe I think it was just the fact that I had to do all that driving, honestly. If it would have been a half hour there, half hour back, that would have been fine. It's the fact that I had to do all that driving. That's the part that sucks. We couldn't go to her place. Had to be my place. And it was just gonna take forever. So I wasn't fucking with it. That passenger princess shit is crazy. Like, girls can be hobosexuals too. Think about it. A lot of girls are hobosexuals. They make that term for, oh, these guys that they don't have their own place and they just stay at your place and they might not have a job. It's like, that sounds like a housewife. That sounds like a housewife that doesn't work, like, that's cool. It's just kind of funny, like when the gender roles reverse, it reminds me of like, I thought this is funny, like, Mexicans being mad that Mexico City's being gentrified. I'm like, bro, like, it's a little ironic. I don't know. Part of me sees the irony. Like, I get it. Yeah, that sucks. Gentrification sucks. It can suck for sure. I think there's obviously, like, it has a negative aspect to it for sure. I don't think it's all bad. I know that sounds bad to say, but like, generally when places get gentrified, like, they get safer, they get higher quality restaurants and stuff like that, and like, just overall the city blocks will get fixed. Like, I know that's fucked, but that's the reality of it, is like, that does come with the gentrification. Like, yeah, it fucking sucks for people to get pushed out, and I think that they really should prevent that more than they do. I think it's fucked that, like, as soon as like affluent people, and it's not just white people that do it, don't get it fucked up, like, anybody can cause gentrification. I mean, it is more of a white thing, but like, for sure that can happen. But I thought it was, probably did think it was a little funny. I'm like, bro, y'all sound like the fucking The white boomers here that complain about there being too many Mexicans. It's like, oh, there's too many white people here. Like, okay. It's a little bit of karma, right? Because we haven't heard that much on the other side of that. Now they want to bitch about there being too many white people there, like too many tourists and foreigners and all that. And I'm just like, one of the things that's always funny to me is the Mexicans that talk about the no sabo kids, like the kids that don't speak Spanish, right? Those kids. And it's like they're arguing with each other over these European languages, and it's just kind of funny. It's like, bro, they're both like kind of white languages, like it's a little bit funny. I don't know, 'cause it's like, yeah, that's a good theme for this actually, because I get into other stuff like that out here. Most people are playing like the who's the biggest victim contest, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck the prize is. Like, yeah, oh, you want to be the biggest victim? Okay, for real. I know that sounds silly, but think about it. A lot of the shit that's going on now is like people just trying to play the biggest victim. It's like, no, I have it harder. No, I have it harder. My life sucks more than yours. I have these hardships. You don't have these hardships. I do. My hardships are harder than your hardships. And it's like, okay. So yes, you have it the hardest of anyone in the world, which is a highly subjective thing, right? Let's say they had a contest for it and you win that. What the fuck is the prize there? What's the prize? Like, congrats, your life sucks more. It's just weird. It's like a weird thing that people do. Is try to like out victim each other. It's like, yeah, life is what you make it, to be honest. I understand like people are dealt shitty cards, but you could be one of those people that has shitty cards and just whines about it for their whole life, or you could do something about it. You have the fucking power. I want to get into that shit more. Oh, my chemicals are imbalanced, so I get to just explode on everyone. Which, okay, that actually makes sense. I mean, imbalanced chemicals, you do explode. I acknowledge that makes sense. Okay, maybe you do. No, but honestly, it's like I come across those people too often where it's like, yeah, I was born this way, so I just get to be an asshole, and you have to put up with it, you know, because I can't help it. And it's like, okay, it doesn't, if you know the things you do are wrong, we both know this, regardless of what the fuck you were going through at the time, you should apologize. You should feel a sense of regret for what you've done. You don't just get to like skate because you have different chemicals. Like, I think that's just kind of a cop out. It's a bullshit excuse. It's like, you knew it was wrong. You knew it was wrong at the time. You did it anyway. Like, yeah, okay, you can't control your emotions. You can to an extent. You don't have to lash out that way. It's just ridiculous, like a bunch of big babies. It's like, yeah, sucks. You feel bad, bro. Doesn't give you a pass to be an asshole. It's like you don't just get to fucking do whatever you want because of some diagnosis that a doctor gave you. Like, fuck that. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of putting up with that shit. That's some bullshit. Y'all know it's some bullshit. Stop trying to fucking be the king or queen victim. you know, like fucking man up, woman up. You know, nut up or shut up. That's what I say. It's like, it's just, it's strange though that we all agree that chemicals affect you, right? I don't know if there's anyone that would disagree with that. Probably some dumbass out there, some contrarian, somebody wrapped up in ideology to the point where it's like, well, if I admit chemicals harm people, then I have to admit the liberals are right or something like that. It's like, it's got to be something like that. A lot of liberals are just oblivious to the chemicals too, though. That's the funny shit. It's like, yes, I will blindly take whatever big pharma tells me to take. I'm gonna take it because that's the left wing way. I don't know why I said that with a right wing accent, but you get it. Well, there's plenty of left wing Democrats. But I don't even like identifying with either party anymore, to be honest. I'm just like, the older I get, and I look back, I'm like, damn, I've always felt like that. Like, I've always obviously leaned way more left, but like, when I really think about it, I've always kind of been like, fuck these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers suck. Like, if anyone else was this incompetent at their job, they would have got fired a long ass time ago. I would have got fired. I couldn't get away with the shit they get away with, basically embezzling money and shit, and like doing all types of shady shit behind the scenes. It's like, oh no, it's all good. This is how it works. It's just funny. I guess it's just because it's a big embezzlement circle. That's what it really is, that we just allow to happen in front of our faces. It's like, yeah, just take our tax money and fucking do whatever you want. Fuck it. Like, we won't do anything. We'll never stand up to you. Stand up to you. Why would we do that? But anyway, it's strange that we all agree these chemicals could affect you, like medicine. We can agree. I mean, everybody takes some type of medicine, whether you do or not. If you don't take medicine, you think that it will affect you too much. You think those chemicals will affect you. If you take it, you think it will affect you. So we can all agree medicine has an effect, regardless of if you take it or not. You can agree it has an effect, right? The chemicals in the medicine. It's made in a lab. We can agree. Either side of the aisle that you stand on there, we can say that medicine affects you, right? So alcohol affects you, right? Chemicals in alcohol, drugs, that affects you certainly. Now, whether you're right wing or left wing, I think you could agree that drugs affect you. Chemical drugs have an effect, whether you're pro drugs or anti drugs. It's just one of those things. It's like, well, it does affect you, right? So I say all that to say it's interesting that we know that our bodies have chemicals in them, but yet being born different chemically is such a hot button issue. It's like, just being trans will make people hate you, you know? Like, but that's born with chemicals that are not the typical level of chemicals in one way or another. Nothing wrong with it, it's certainly not a punishable offense or something, but it's really weird that like we can all agree that these other chemicals affect us in these ways, but somehow it's just like a such a leap for people to think like, oh yeah, maybe there are people that are born different chemically, so they feel different. Just like if you were taking drugs, we could all agree you'd feel different. I'm not trying to compare being trans to being on drugs, so don't put those words in my mouth. But what I'm saying is, it's weird that we can agree about the chemicals in that way, but not another way. Like, we know there's poison, that chemical has an effect. We can all agree on that. We can't agree that, like, oh, maybe this person was just born with a little more estrogen or testosterone than other people that have these genitals, like, yes, this person was born with a penis and they have extremely low testosterone levels and very high estrogen levels. It's as simple as that. It's like, is that really so far-fetched, like, to believe? It's just strange to me. I don't know. The logic. I'm a logical person. I'm big on logic. Anytime I took these tests, in fact, I think my logic is probably what got me into the GATE program as a kid, the Gifted and Talented Education Program. It probably was the logic, because I felt like that was my strength in there, even amongst these kids that had the logic. I felt like I was the one who had like the different perspectives, who was coming up with stuff that was just out of the norm. Yeah, I think that played a role. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, yeah, but it's strange that we agree on that. But like, somehow it's just too much of a leap to believe that trans people might just feel a little different because of their chemical levels. Just weird. It's weird. And then it's like, a lot of people don't know. There's literally people born with a penis and a vagina. So at that point, what do you like? What are you going to tell that person? Oh, well, you got to pick one. Like, they're born with both. What are you going to tell them? Like, the way that you form in the womb, we start out with a vagina. Some of us continue developing, and some of us remain women. I'm never gonna stop saying that joke. I'm sorry. It's funny. I'm sorry. But yes. So if we all had a vagina at one point, is it that impossible to think that some, like some of us developed physically in that way, but maybe like our level of estrogen was still high from that process? Is that really that much of a leap? I guess I'm trying to break it down because I'm just tired of all the hate. Like, I see even good friends of mine that are just doing shit against trans people. Just mostly just comments, just little jokes here and there. A lot of the jokes are played out, you know what I mean? It's not really funny anymore. It's just lame. Like, I'm not even talking about offense. I don't really get offended like that. It's just lame. I'm offended by how lame your comedy is. It's like, no, bro, this they've been saying this shit for decades and decades. It's not funny anymore. It's like the fucking chicks with dicks jokes is not funny anymore. It's just lame. Like, shut up, boomer. But anyway, I'm gonna do some reviews here. So, this week I watched The Haunting of the Queen Mary. Um, Decent movie. It wasn't amazing or anything. I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it to an extent. Could have been better, could have been worse. I'll give it a 6.5. Zeus slaps God. That's about where I'm weighing in with that one. I thought it was cool. It made it interesting because it's set in Long Beach. I live in Long Beach. Don't try to find me, please. But yes, I live in Long Beach. And I don't know. I've seen the Queen Mary. I've been there for events and things like that. So it was interesting to watch. I wanted to look up the history of it after that because I don't know too much. I've known that it's like supposed to be haunted, but I didn't know much about it, you know, about the haunting. So I don't know if any of that movie was factual. Obviously, it was. It wasn't 100% factual because it's like a sensationalized horror movie. But look at the pearly whites on the cam. You can't say you don't like my smile. Come on. Speaking of that, super random. Should I get into that? Should I go to the other review? Now, I feel like the other review is gonna last a while. So, there's a girl. She's a model, right? Um, she hits me up as I'm heading back to the IE celebrate my brother's birthday and stuff. I wanted to get there the day before. It was a slow day in Long Beach. I decided to take a jacuzzi bath as I often do, and I decided to head over to the IE. So I head over here where I am currently, you know, and as I'm heading over here, I get a call from a girl I haven't heard from a long time. And it's a girl that always wants a ride somewhere. She's a model. She's from the Bay Area. Nice enough, but I started realizing that she just kind of uses me for rides. She's flirty, there's like always been that element there. Like when she met me, she was telling people I was more handsome in person. She said that I had like really nice teeth, which was nice to hear from a model, and just like nice features like my eyebrow arch and all that. So flirty and all that shit. But then when it comes down to it, like she's a really inexperienced girl for being a model. Like she has not she was a virgin for a long time when I knew her, and then she lost her virginity, but as far as I know she only been with one person, and it wasn't even like a lot. It was like, so very weirdly innocent model girl that like has not had a lot of experience with that type of stuff. And so she comes out here, and her friend, like, he told her he was moving, then he already moved. So he was no longer in the area. She was supposed to stay over there with him. He was no longer in that area. And she hits me up, and I'm like headed back to the IE. She's in downtown LA, and I'm like, I can't, like, it's my brother's birthday. I'm not gonna be able to do anything for you. Told her, like, you should hit me up earlier. Like, don't hit me up the day of and expect me to save you, you know? And it's on my brother's birthday, so it would have been or it was the day before, but still had plans to celebrate his birthday. Like, I'm not gonna fucking turn my back on one of my best friends and family for you, who really has you really have kind of used me over the years, to be honest. Like, it's been for rides and shit like that. It hasn't really been a type of thing where I've benefited much from it. It's been like you've gotten your rides out of this, and like I've just been there. I got to hang out with you. Like, okay, that's cool. But it's like it wasn't really that beneficial for me to hang out with you, I'll say. So I thought that was kind of silly, you know. I don't know how it went. I guess her and her friend were gonna be like seat fillers for like the hip hop 50-year thing. It was some type of event. I think the Recording Academy did it or something. I didn't know too much about it. I don't follow that Grammy shit. Shout out to, I thought it was cool Nas got nominated, but he got nominated against a bunch of trash. Just like, no, please. Let me see. I'm gonna look right now who Nas got nominated against. Cause I'm gonna be hot if he loses to any of these people. It's like none of them are good, you know? Let's see. I'm gonna look at it right now. Okay. Oh, I forgot about that comment. Okay, so yeah, was nominated with Nas. So Utopia, Travis Scott. Even Travis Scott fans ain't feeling that one too much from what I've seen. Her Loss, Aubrey and 21 Savage. Fuck no. Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin. I've barely heard anything about this shit. So, you know, I heard a couple tracks. I wasn't too impressed. Metro Boomin's a good producer, but Michael by Killer Mike. I'm sure it's good. And then King's Disease 3 by Nas. The King's Disease 3 album is one of the that album honestly is one of the best I've heard the last few years. It might be second to Chamber Zero. It's definitely like up there of the last few years. So I for sure feel like that should win. I think that's the best album Hit Boy and Nas made together so far. I don't know if they're gonna make any more. They're apparently like on hiatus or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, they are I think they made some great projects, and I think that might be the best one. Actually, I would say it is. I personally got the most enjoyment out of it. I thought it flowed the best, or just had the best overall quality. I'd say, you know, no bad songs on there. No, no, really any bad songs on any of the Nas and Hit Boy albums, but there's some of them that are kind of just all right. But that one I felt like was just strong. You know, it's just a strong showing. And another KZR review is Killers of the Flower Moon. I saw it with my brother, Kurt the Hero. Happy birthday to Kurt the Hero, by the way. I wished him one the last episode, but you know, now his birthday passed. That was before I got to celebrate it. I got to celebrate Ben's birthday, but not Kurt the Hero's birthday. So happy birthday, Kurt the Hero. I hope he had a great day. I tried my best. I got him a couple things, and like it seemed like he had a good day, but I felt bad. I felt like we didn't do enough, even though I mean I kind of set that day aside for him. I was ready. I just felt like I don't know. I wanted him to have a good day, so I hope he did. If you hear this, Kurt the Hero, I hope you had a good day. So we saw Killers of the Flower Moon. That was kind of a birthday gift to him. I mean, I paid for the ticket. Actually, got a great deal. It happened to be on my like I've had this movie pass, I guess, for a year, I think now. So it happened to be on that birthday, so we got a free. I got popcorn and it was free large popcorn, and then It was discount Tuesday, so his ticket and the popcorn was only like $7 total, and my ticket's free because I have the pass, right? So like 2 tickets, large popcorn for $7. Pretty good deal. So yeah, and Killers of the Flower Moon, I mean, that was certainly worth the $7. It's like a 3.5 hour movie. It was really good. I thought it would be good, and it was. It was really interesting. It's a Martin Scorsese movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone, she was on Reservation Dogs. She's been on some other stuff, and really interesting movie. I thought they did a great job, honestly. One thing that was kind of funny is so it's a Scorsese and De Niro movie. So you're thinking, well, this is different for them. They usually do mob movies. They usually do these Italian mob movies. This movie was still a mob movie because the premise of it is like it's about these white men that settle on like Indian land, indigenous land of these Osage people who struck it rich with oil, right? They got a bunch of money from this black gold, the oil in the earth. And so them doing that, it attracted these white men who came in there with nefarious intent. In the movie they paint it like they're just trying to steal the land and gain all the wealth from these women. I didn't look up the story, so I think it's true. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking, like white people have done stuff like that over time, but it was a little I mean it's a dark movie. I guess it has kind of a feel good ending, but it's definitely a dark movie. And yeah, these guys have just Leonardo DiCaprio keeps doing this like the whole time he has this expression where he has like a permanent frown, like his lips just going under. Like I guess they're making him look dumb. His character is like kind of dumb, kind of easy to get taken. He's not super dumb, but he's like he gets taken advantage of and kind of bossed around by Robert De Niro's character. And it's just like they're just these dumb Southerners, but they did take advantage of the Osage Nation and got a lot out of it. And I don't know, it ended up being a mob movie because he's ordering hits and shit, like just doing the same mobster shit, just with a Southern accent. So it's kind of funny that like that's the way it went because I was like, oh, this is different. Oh, actually, it's kind of what they usually do, but they did it well. I give it 8.5 Zeus slaps. God, I thought they did it very well. Probably one of the better movies I've seen recently. I think that's one of the highest scores I've given out recently. So, yeah, I recommend it. Long as hell, probably not for everybody, but I thought it was good. Very interesting too. The thought of so as I mentioned, my daughter's mom, she doesn't like Long Beach. She hasn't really been there much. She doesn't have much of an impression of it. And truthfully, she's barely been in the entire state of California over the last 10 years. She's been here a handful of times for a handful of days. I've been in Texas a lot more, picking up Jassy, dropping her off, and all that. Fuck you, computer. Sorry, I hate when it does that unnecessary sound. But so she hasn't been there much, but she doesn't like Long Beach for whatever reason. I don't know why. Someone put some idea in her head. If I had to guess, like some of the people that she's around are pretty bougie and they have their ideas, and like Long Beach, yeah, there's parts of Long Beach that are not nice. There's parts that are rough. I live in a fucking nice part of Long Beach now. I used to live in downtown, that wasn't so nice, but I live in a nice part. It's a big city, so there's a lot of different parts. So to generalize it as like being like a a bad area or like an area that wouldn't be good for Jazzy is silly to me. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but hey, I just thought it was kind of silly, you know. Um, but the thought of moving there, it makes me sad because I mean, there's still so much to explore there, and I enjoy it. So there's a good chance I'm gonna have to move if Jazzy comes back permanently, and I'm gonna miss the city. So if you're in the area, let's get together. Let's actually make the most of it. Part of me is like, should I even get more attached to it because I have to leave? But it won't. It might not be forever. You know, I enjoyed it there. I would like to come back. And who knows? Maybe I'll end up staying there. Honestly, it's not for sure that I'm gonna have to move, but it raised an interesting question because I don't know how much control your ex should have. It's funny that like I've had no say over where they live in Texas. I didn't even want her to live in that state, you know. And she knows that. She's known that for years, but that was never really a question. But in terms of this, it's like you don't want me to live in this area. Like the funny thing is, she talks about like it being down to like a oh your support system. You're an hour from your family. I'm like actually it's like 40 minutes, and she was talking about how she's like 30 minutes from her mom. So I guess that extra 10 minutes is just unbearable. It's kind of silly, you know. I think. I mean, people just are always trying to control things, you know. And I've had to give in a lot. I've had to let a lot go. I've had to like really not get my way with a lot of things, and it gets frustrating sometimes. But what can you do? I try my best. I just try to be the best person I can be and hope for the best. But it can definitely get frustrating. Yeah, so we'll see. Memories are the most valuable thing in the world. Said it before, I'll say it again. Everything else you don't get to keep, you know. You don't get to keep. Stuff breaks, you know, people pass away, but memories are always there. For as long as you're there, memories are there. And we don't know in the afterlife. I have a feeling that your memories are still there, you know? So either way, it's the only thing you get to keep for your whole life for sure. We can say that. We know that. It's a precious thing. Even if you don't get to keep all your memories, you got some memories. You know, it's so valuable. That's what we do life for, is to make memories. That's what life is about, man. Making the best memories with the best people. That's what it is. So yeah, I just want to drop that on you. A lot of people are doom and gloom. The government is evil, you know, but things get better over time. Like it's wild to me that like with the government thing, it's like we used to have like slave owners running the government, like actual slave owners, like, you know, within the last 200 years. It ain't that long ago. We don't have that anymore, at least that we know of, I guess. We don't have that anymore. So, by that alone, aren't things better? Like, I mean, and I was guilty of this too. Like we're thinking Trump's the worst president ever, and it's like I don't know. Like I don't know how any of those slave master presidents really were. Like you got to think probably not great. You know, they're sexist, they're racist. Like women are being held down. Anybody that's not white's being held down. I mean, poor people being held down, like all that shit. It was just magnified even wilder than it is now. You know, you were allowed to just be openly racist at the beginning of the country. You could be an openly racist leader of the country. In fact, it was like encouraged. It was like, yes, the savages, we must kill the savages and take their land. And it's like, that's fucking, you can't tell me that Trump was that bad compared to that. And I am not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Trump apologist. I never liked him other than the fact that I think he's fucking hilarious. I don't want him as the leader, but he is easily the funniest fucking president because just the fucking chaos he creates. Like, if you can remove yourself from the situation a little, I know it affects us and it's our country and like it is shitty, but if you just remove yourself, try to do it every once in a while just to get a good fucking laugh out of it because it is ridiculous. This fucking Trump shit, man, it's hilarious. It's hilarious that this happened to us. We allowed it to happen. We caused it to happen, really. Fucking the damn Democratic Party just pushing Hillary on everyone. People didn't want that shit. They fought back and they picked the big orange dumbass. And that's our fault. We allowed that to happen. We're all culpable, you know. I didn't vote for him, not my president. Like, yeah, but we still fucking let it happen. We allowed that shit to happen. We didn't dismantle this stupid ass electoral college before now, you know. I don't know, man. It's all our fault. We could do more. But yeah, I don't know. In a way, though, it's kind of like things haven't changed, you know. The only difference now is you get to choose your slave master, you know. We literally had slave masters committing genocide running the US, and now it's like a lighter form of that. It's like, you know, you choose your slave master, you pick your corporation to work at and get fucked by. You know, you put your time in, you got to work there your whole life. You got to just take the little crumbs of free time that they give you. While I mean, a lot of these people barely work, you know, like they get to do whatever they want all day, every day. They're there to run a company, and yeah, there's work to be done. But for the most part, it's like they're grossly overpaid. And we allow it. We allow it. We just allow it to happen. We just let it happen every time. But yeah, like it's just a weird flex we have now. It's like people will work for shitty corporations and be like, "Oh yeah, well my slave master is better than yours. My slave master gives us 3 pizza parties a year, and yours only gives you 2. Your slave master sucks." It's like, yeah, I mean, you work for shitty companies that don't give a fuck about you, and you're just a number. But all right, we do all their bidding for crumbs and slivers. We do all the hard work. We tear our bodies up, tear our souls up, and they just fucking coast and keep all the profits. You know, it's like at least 500 to 1 for CEO to worker pay, and we just let it happen. It's like, oh no, it's all good. Yeah, this is fine. In fact, we tear down our fellow workers before we ever tear down corporate America, before we ever tear down the oligarchs. They got you fucking talking shit about your fellow workers. So there you go. Good times, right? Very good times. So support the art. So speaking of slave masters, Spotify won't pay now. This is a new policy. They won't pay unless you get 1,000 streams of a song in a year. I know that doesn't sound like much to y'all, but there are plenty of songs. I think it's like the majority of the songs on there don't get that many plays. So most people that have music on there are not getting paid. And think about that for a second. Something you created, you put your hard work into, that you gave this platform, because don't get it fucked up. They need the music to exist as a platform. They can't just have no music and function as a music platform. They need the fucking music. So these people who need us creatives, they get to just take advantage like that. We don't get paid. The vast majority of us don't get paid much at all for Spotify numbers. It's just bullshit. And they're just taking a bigger and bigger slice of the pie every time. It's like, oh, I see. Oh, you want those crumbs? Nah. Fucking just eating the crumbs out from in front of our faces after they already ate the rest of the cake, you know? They're just eating all the crumbs. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, support art. A lot of the best art will never be heard or experienced by the world. Art decorates space and music decorates time, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. Art decorates space and music decorates time. So beautiful, so poetic. Just a random post that somebody made. And it's one of the best things I've heard in years, to be honest. It makes so much sense. So art enhances space and time. Art is a portrait of the time, right? So it's like a time stamp of like what was relevant in this moment, what the artistic techniques were, who the prominent artists were. It's all there. Music, it decorates time. You think of like, oh, this was what was going on in 1970, you know. This sounds like 1970. I could hear what era this was in this. This is what we listen to in our daily lives in this year. This is what we played at the parties. This is what we played lo-fi hip hop to chill and study to. We did all that. That's what it was. So I don't know. It's funny, man. It's funny. It's good times. Much love, though. Much love. I got more. I mean, I got more. I'm not ending it there, bro. This art life is hard. I want to shout out Kurt the Hero, Oh My, Chamberlain, New Jack, Pedro Fernandez, and all the other artists out there. Much love to you. OG me as well. I'm working fucking 70 to 84 hours most weeks. Still going to the gym every day. What's your excuse, bro? Why ain't you getting shit done? If I'm getting shit done, if I'm doing this Godcast right now, like I'm tired. It's been a long week. Actually, my energy's pretty good, all things considered. But yeah, I'm fighting to even be able to make my art. Like it's real rough out here. It's real rough out here. I've worked so much I can't record most of the time. No matter how much I want to, like I can't record. That shit sucks. The world is being deprived of my genius. No, for real though, it's like I have so much to record and I just don't have the time because I work so much, because I have to, because of the way the system's set up, because I have to make a lot to get by. So I have to work a lot. I don't have money to spend on the promotion and all that. And like, I just have to hope that something pops off. I don't even have time to post really because that takes thought. I got to think of like what to post and all this. Think of a caption. It's so hard, man. I'm fighting to be able to make my art, you know. And a few times this week, I've seen this phrase like "darkness makes you appreciate light," and it's like, yo, late Zen After Chaos, 2019 or 2009, 2009. That was the whole concept of the album. When I was chaos, when I was a teenager, that's what I wrote. Like the first half was the chaos side, the second half was the Zen side, and the you could only really appreciate the Zen if you went through the chaos, you know. So y'all late once again, trendsetter, never been better. But yeah, I'm fighting, man. I never even attempted to get signed. I never reached out to radio stations. I never tried to collab. I barely paid for promo. So honestly, a lot of the reason why my name isn't bigger in music, which I'd say like it's bigger than a good like a lot of people. My name's bigger. But the reason why it's not bigger is my fault. I didn't do any of that. I tried to go about it a different way that I thought would work and it's been tough. It's tough when I mean you're working full time and you don't have time to make anything happen, you know? Like I don't have time to put into the music and stuff unfortunately. Like I write, I try to make beats and stuff, but I don't have the time. Like I want more time. Y'all don't realize that's what frustrates me a lot about the artists that have all the resources, all the money, all the time in the world, and like they don't even want to fucking make music. They're just like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm not gonna do anything. I do this for the love of it, and I don't have the fucking time. Like I'm doing this other bullshit I don't want to do so I can do that. So that's what frustrates me when I feel like they don't appreciate it. They have other people writing it like they just aren't using any type of real talent. It's frustrating to watch as an artist. It's like we fucking work ourselves to the bone and y'all got this lucky shot and you don't do anything with it. You don't even appreciate it. In fact, you spend your time shitting on us for not being where you're at and stuff like that. And it's like, we would be there if we could. Like, you're the one that got the spot. You basically got lucky. You won a lottery. Like you'll think it's because you were more talented, but truthfully, like you just knew the right people and you got the push. Like that's totally random. A lot of the connections these nepo babies have is like from generations and generations. It's like, oh yeah, their dad was in the music business and then his dad was in the music business and they built all these connections and shit. It's like, yeah, of course you got signed. Of course you're like getting promotion, getting pushed by the machine. Like they love to push one of their own that they could control. That's a safe artist, doesn't cause any riffraff, you know. So I don't know, but one thing that's interesting is like the boomers and Gen X people whining about Gen Z. Nobody wants to work. It's like the economy is arguably as bad as the Great Depression, and y'all want to pay people wages that are not livable while you count your checks. You don't want to cut into your money. You always tell people, like, oh, if minimum wage goes up, everything else will go up. You know who has control of that? The same people that have control of raising the minimum wage and all that. So it's like you have control of the resources. You don't want to eat into your lifestyle, your profits. So you rather just let people struggle, you know, and I think that's whack. And we allow it, we buy into it, but that's what it is. It's like you just don't want to give up any slivers of your money. You want to keep it all to yourself. And some of y'all will think that's fine, but it's like, when is enough enough? How much do you need? Does anyone really need $1 billion? I don't think so. I think that's ridiculous. I think that's a ridiculous amount of money that I don't think anyone needs. If I end up becoming a billionaire and then I change my tune, I'm sorry. But honestly, I just don't think it's an amount of money anyone needs. So it's just like, at that point, what are you doing? But I kind of get it. It kind of sucks. Like, part of me is like, I don't want to give money to the government. Like, they fucking suck. They can't do anything right. You know, like, I don't want to give my tax money to them. They fucking suck. So that's what I would say. Oh man, you idiots let the wealth gap widen. Job market went to shit. You know, inflation sky high, and we're the problem somehow. Us not wanting to work. It's like y'all caused all these problems. Your generations literally caused these problems, and we get blamed because we don't want to work. It's like, yeah, we don't want to work in your shitty fucking system where you make all the money and we fucking break our backs literally fucking doing all the work. It's like, yeah, of course we don't want that. Of course. We gotta break the cycle that we outnumber them by so much. Pull the fucking wool out of your eyes. Come on, let's go. But yeah, we gotta break the cycle. Anyone going through it though, I'm here for you. Let's talk. You're not alone. Like, I want you to know I'm here for you. I don't want you to feel like you have to struggle in silence or anything. I'm here and have love for you, and I'm here to talk. I'm a good listener, so please don't do anything stupid to hurt yourself. And now we get into KZRO Sports. So boxing needs to make the Fury Usyk fight happen before either of them lose. Fury came close, so let's not let this slip away. Usyk, a lot of people think, got bailed out by the referee in his last fight. That's just so ridiculous. He was beating Dubois' ass, but Dubois landed a shot that really was at best borderline, but if you hit someone on the belt, that's considered an illegal punch unless it's like very obvious their belt's high. His belt wasn't even that high. So for sure that was a win for Usyk. I thought that was ridiculous and people were mad. But the worst part of Fury and Ngannou is MMA fans whining about it. Like, but would Ngannou have won by MMA rules? Because they don't, by MMA scoring, they don't score a knockdown the same as we do here. Knockdowns aren't where you take 2 points off. You know, in MMA is different. They don't take points for knockdowns. I guess it kind of makes sense because of how long their rounds are. Like if you got a knockdown in a 5 minute round, let's say you had a good 30 seconds, you got the knockdown, you had a flurry, you shouldn't win a 5 minute round if they beat you up the rest of the time, you know? Like that doesn't make sense. So yeah. So it's very early, but the Lakers look a little weak right now, you know? They're losing to bad teams, and of course, AD is hurt again. I don't know what's going to happen, Lakers fans. I hope they can turn around. I think they will. Just looks a little rough right now, but not as rough as USC. USC is a dumpster fire right now. Their defense is so bad. Like they have one of the best. I would say, actually, right now they have the best college quarterback in the country, and they're just squandering it completely. Just ridiculous. But yeah, that'll conclude it for D Sports. And hold on, I gotta get a book so I could do the book of Grav. I got books. Hold up. Ah, whoop. Sorry about that. Sorry about it. Whoop. And now, let us read from the book of Grav. How you feel okay stealing time? I bet you spend time concealing crimes, telling everyone else I'm the problem. Peep my freedom and feel it's time to rob some. You hated your life and mine was awesome. Everywhere down the line the loss comes. These awful soul stealing succubuses. In the name of Holy Spirits, fuck you witches. I meditate on musical euphoria. Everything's so beautiful and glorious. I really wish that's how the story was. I wanted that sight to bless my corneas. I forget what it meant to find true love. You allowed that lens to blind you, love. On a perpetual search for greener grass. But you ain't her. I just seen her pass. I'm hanging on by a thread. Don't care where y'all try to tread. And don't try to wonder why I led so many crazy thoughts inside my head. I'm hanging on by a thread. Don't care what y'all try to tread. And it's no wonder why I led so many crazy thoughts inside my head. Grav. Thank y'all. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Um, this is the bonus episode. Obviously, we've been on your space waves. What the fuck am I doing? I don't even need the headphones. Makes it a little better though, so I can kind of hear what I'm doing. There we go. The video audience got a treat of me being an idiot with these headphones. So yeah, thank you for another great year. I recommend Wario Ware Move for the Switch. That's a fun party game. I got that. Me and my brother play for his birthday. And yeah, it was fun, man. That movie pass I have is highly worth it. I highly recommend it. It's over $14 for a night showing of movies now, aka the number one time people go, because it's like I don't want to watch a horror movie in the daytime. I want to watch it at night. Every movie's better at night, you know. Like I don't need to watch every movie at night. I'd watch a comedy in the daytime, for example. I wouldn't really want to watch a horror movie in the daytime. That's lame, you know. Every other movie, I think it's fine watching in the daytime, pretty much. Like, I don't know if action is any better being at night. Some stuff I like to see in the day. It's just fun to see in the day. Like, I saw Mario in the day. I think that was nice. The Mario Brothers movie. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just enjoy it. I think it's highly worth it. Fellas, you get one, you take your date on a Tuesday, save you some money, you know. If they can't appreciate Cheesecake Factory, fuck them. That shit is funny. The Cheesecake Factory. Like, what did Cheesecake Factory do? I guess they're probably happy that they get an extra promo. People will try it off of that, you know, but seems weird to me. I don't know what's wrong with Cheesecake Factory. I don't really go there, but I mean, it's not like it's not a nice place. It's like it's usually pretty nice inside. I haven't seen one where I was like, damn, this shit's run down. Like this is trash. But yeah, I don't know. Internet gonna internet, right? Thank you for listening. I will be back this week, actually, or I guess technically next week, but you get two in the course of 2 days, right? Am I doing that math right? Two in the course of 3 days, I believe. No, it is two. It is two. It is two. Because we're coming out 11/11. Gonna be another one 11/13. So thank y'all. I wish you the best. Life in zero gravity forever.